Well, good morning, everybody. This is Catherine Toon, and I just thought I'd hop on for a bit today. I hope everybody is weathering things well. If you're struggling, no condemnation, but this is just an opportunity to be uplifted, to be reminded. Good morning, Steve, that you are resilient. And that is good morning, Lisa. That is part and parcel of how God created you to be. It's amazing. Let's just think about this for a second with all the world wars. Good morning, Veronica. That's my eldest name, so I have a particular fondness for that name. Good choice. So in the place where humanity has survived for however I'm not going to get into the whole debate how old is the earth and all that kind of stuff, but for thousands of years, right, and at least and maybe millions, however that is, we've survived just calamity after calamity after calamity, and that is part of the resilience that's hardwired into humanity, and the grace of God that hardwired that, right? And the grace of God that takes care of his kids even in the midst. Good morning, Corey. So, I just want to remind you that with all the setbacks that you are experiencing and all the setbacks that maybe you kind of jump through, right? And that we're going to jump through in the midst of a tough time and just growing weary and well doing. We're happy to isolate, and now we're just really just grinding it out. I've had to say a lot of no's to my daughter. It was like, can I visit so-and-so? Can I? No, you can't. And in the place where they're bored, I've been putting them to work. And so that was always a thing in my house. You didn't, especially in the summertime, you didn't say, I'm bored. Wow, okay, that was just an invitation for another project, which is actually not a bad idea. Work is good for us. Toil is not good for us. Good morning, Cyrus. But work is good for us. We were created to be productive. We are created to rule and reign. We are created to tend our gardens. And there's a lot of different layers of that, right? We were created for that. We were created to be productive. And when you find people are not productive, they get depressed. Why? Because they're not connecting with who they are. You're just not designed to get your identity from your productivity or lack of productivity, but you are designed to be productive. The sons of God are that creation goes for the manifestation of the sons of God and daughters of God, and part of that is in the place that we are called to be productive. We are resilient. We have that hardwired. And when I grew up, the religion of the day was humanism, so it was all about kind of worshiping humanity. And the truth is, humanity partakes of the divine nature. We really do. We're created in the image and likeness of God. God is inside us. No one is left out, but we don't all walk in the knowledge of it. And where we don't recognize our source, we are confused, right? We are confused, and we yield the fruit of confusion. And, in all humility, I was confused for a long period of time. So I'm still confused. We're all growing, right? And to act like we've just arrived is silly. And prideful, but we are all growing. And so in that place where, we have been hardwired with resiliency, we've been hardwired with the character of the one who created us, right? Of the one who loved us and gave himself up for us. And in that place, guess what? God is love, and love never fails. That means humanity has the capacity to dig into who they are and overcome. Yeah. And there's so much glory in humanity that even when we don't recognize the source of the glory inside us, glory still emanates. That is just the graciousness of God. See, God honestly is so humble. It's an incredible part of his character that he doesn't demand credit all the time. So where humanity is patting itself on the back apart from God, Okay, God's not all ticked off and, all that kind of thing, but he is wooing them because it's not good to operate in as if we're separated from the one who created us, and as if we're our own source. It's just silliness, right? But it happens, and that's kind of what the whole religion of humanism is all about. We celebrate humanity apart from the one who made humanity glorious. That's just silly. But, when you're in a blind spot, we buy into silly. And we've all done it, and we're probably all doing it. So let's not get all huffy puffy condemning, but let's just own it. And let's just realize something. Humanity is resilient. Humanity will get through this. You will get through this, right? And as you connect with God, you can come out the other side with amazing upgrades. Isn't that amazing? So God knows how to make the hard things work together for our good. And that is what, as believers, which basically means we believe, isn't that amazing? And we are connected with the source. We are looking to our source, not to ourselves or something outside us, but we're looking to the one within us who created all things, right? And so he didn't create the crap, but he created all things. And so we're looking to him. We're able to come out the other side with upgrades. And I'm saying, don't settle in the place of where there is a struggle. Make sure if there's a pain, you get a gain for your pain. And that is an issue of looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of faith, right? The looking unto the Spirit who works all things together for our good. All things are not good. There's evil for sure. Good morning, Maurice. But in the place where, wow, God is in us and working these things out. I'm believing for such upgrades on an individual level, on your behalf, on my behalf, for our governments, for our healthcare system, for the races that may have gotten harder hit, right? Really for everybody, right? Because the creation groans for the manifestation of the sons of God. So as God is using this as an opportunity to unveil you in all your resilience, right? As he's saying, yes, let me unveil you in the hard place, because a lot of times he will use the hard place to unveil. He doesn't send us into dark nights of the soul and that mess, but he will take advantage of the hard places, yeah? And in that place, he will unveil. He will unveil you as a champion. He won't unveil you apart from him as a champion. He will unveil you in him as a champion. And in that place, you get your upgrades, not just in you, but through you and also around you. This is why creation is groaning. Listen, virus was never intended to attack humanity. Viruses and bacteria, all the flora and fauna were made to bless humanity. So that means, okay, all of creation that is not a blessing to humanity is out of order, and it is groaning under the burden of being a burden to humanity. And in the place where maybe we've gotten a lot of times when we have crappy end times eschatology, we kind of like, oh, screw creation. It's all going to go up in flames anyway. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to back off in fear and I'm not going to worry about, creation. That's not, and we're called, that's our calling. Okay. So we're called to tend and take care of and steward everything that the Lord has given us. And then creation, as we're unveiled, starts to cooperate, starts to do what it was created to do. You can imagine if you were created to do a job like bless humanity, and you are actually being a curse to humanity, how much pain that is. Why would creation groan? Well, creation is groaning because it's not doing what it was designed to do, but it's looking to us, in a sense, to be unveiled so that it can do what it was created to do. So we all get to do what we were created to do, to be a blessing. Our new commandment to love one another as God loved us, to steward and care for creation, right? all of those things, to steward our finances, steward all these things. And that's not supposed to be a burden. It's a responsibility. Why? Because we have the ability and we respond to his ability, right? His ability in us. Christ in you, the hope of glory. And that is why there's such incredible upgrades on the other side of all this. But we have to get through it before we get the upgrades, okay? But in the process, you are being upgraded. So just keep looking to him. Just keep looking to him, and he will see you through. Listen, the sons of God are led by the Spirit of God, and God is inside you. He's wild about you, and he wants to lead you in pleasant paths. He wants to lead you in the place of taking dominion in the most benign way, in the most loving way, right? Because you're created in the image and likeness of love himself, and love never fails. Anyway, I hope this has been a blessing for you today. Send this to someone who needs to be encouraged. Share it on your timelines, whatever is helpful as led. And just an update, my mini book that's coming out, How to Hear God, we're in the process of getting it formatted, getting the cover design, all that kind of stuff. It will be free. You can downloadable for free because I really want you to be able to connect with God for yourself in the place that is oppressed, in the place that's depressed, in the place that's hurting, that's gotten hit, in the place where you honestly, you want your upgrade. Yeah, that's a desirable thing. And that, as you connect to God himself, will yield fruit way beyond this temporal problem. Yeah, way beyond the coronavirus, way beyond the fallout from the coronavirus and all of that. And so I will be letting you know when that is completed. We're working diligently to get that done, but I wanted to create a good product. So anyway, stay tuned. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. I'm hoping to get that mini book out probably within a week. Okay? Love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.